Saskatchewan Riders are the champs. Green and white.
Can they take the lead on this drive?
Fuck this video. Fuck this video. I'm drinking my sorrows away. Oh, hi everyone. Yeah, we're recording today. Welcome to the video. This is, I think hell is frozen over. You know, I've been in Winnipeg my entire life. I've had some cold days. I was told this was a warm Grey Cup, but I felt hell freeze over. So I think that might be bullshit. So this is a Bomber fan nightmare. This really is. This is that song that you heard in the intro. I heard that leaving the building for about every second of it. And now they have a parade already planned. And here we are. Rick, how are you doing today? Are you surviving?
I have a response for you.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, first off, I just want to make it clear, I'm not a Riders fan. I just wore this hat and jersey.
Yeah, just to piss me off.
Just to piss Carter off and to do that intro. But besides the point, you know what would make it even better?
Oh, God.
In 2 years, when it's held in Regina, you guys go and win on their turf?
Your goddamn it would be right, and it might be possible because Michael Shuey's going to be here for 3 years, bitch. Anyways, the Riders won this year. And so all of the memes of the Riders only having 4 Grey Cups in 115 years, that meme is now dead. But the new meme of that they've only won 5 Grey Cups in 115 years. Still on one hand so far. We'll see.
I will say at least the extra man Grey Cup is now in the past.
Oh yeah, because the Grey Cup moment now is that Shea Patterson is the most wanted man in all of Montreal, and he cannot show his face in public. So
actually, to be honest, I thought it would have been Davis Alexander with his 3 interceptions.
No, it wasn't, because who dropped the ball on the 1 yard line? Who was on the 1 yard line and fumble? Like that is the talking point. Because I mean, to be fair, like 2 of those interceptions were pretty bad. The third one was just a Hail Mary, so who gives a shit? It was either that or him kneeing out the clock, so I don't really look much at that pick, but we're gonna get into this game. So this was the first Grey Cup I've ever attended. Yeah, I know they're trying to get me to come back for more, and we'll have to see, because this didn't go well for me. I'm just kidding. I had a lot of fun at everything besides the winner, and we already lost Rick. Hold on a second. We got to get Rick back. Where is Rick? Oh, I think we got him back now. Rick?
We will have to see, and then I got dropped like a bad habit.
Like a bad habit, or do all bad habits get dropped? I feel like a lot of them don't get dropped. We'll have to see. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that we're gonna go through the game full. I have all my notes of this game done. We're gonna go through all of it. I have actually a bunch of live reactions from in the stadium that are gonna be in this video. So that's all going to be incorporated in. And then afterwards, we're going to talk about the stats. We're going to talk about the numbers. We're going to talk about what this means and all that sort of stuff. So firstly, looking at the pregame, there was a big cheer thing that they did with all of the cheerleaders from all 9 teams. Just some big kind of routine they did, which was fun. That was all right. And then afterwards, I can't put this clip in the video, but Our Lady Peace did the kickoff show, and they sounded awesome. I love OLP. I was very, very happy to see them. And yeah, they did. It was weird seeing how they set all of that up and all the trucks coming out there to put all the speakers over. Like, it was neat seeing that in person. It's something you don't see on the broadcast, is all that setup that they do in such a short amount of time.
I was gonna say hell has frozen over in my house.
Oh yeah,
because I was doing the live stream yesterday, and my dad did not know who Our Lady Peace was.
Oh,
and he's in his 60s.
I mean, to be fair, it's a little bit before his generation, but OLP's great.
And then you see
they're basically the Trues but bigger.
Then you go and watch Machine Gun Kelly. He's like, there was one in the 1800s. I'm like, how am I supposed to know that there's a Machine Gun Kelly from the 1800s?
I mean, to be fair, that doesn't surprise me. That's probably the name of some gunslinger back then. But anyways, so OLP plays. They're fantastic. They played for about 7.5 minutes. I was very, very happy to see them. I actually recorded both the kickoff and the halftime show in its entirety, and it's up on our channel. You can check it out from exactly where my seats were. If you want to see what it looks like, not on the broadcast, it's there. And I think over 3,000 people have seen it as of this recording. So thank you guys for supporting that. At this point, the teams make their entrances, and they actually both enter out the bomber side, so they can both have all the explosions and pyro and all the stuff that makes it kind of that big game, despite the Riders being in the U of M, the Bison's dressing room, which is on the opposite side of the stadium, as the Alouettes were in the bomber dressing room. They would then do the national anthem. I can't remember the lady's name who did it. She's a country artist, actually from Niverville, Manitoba. So just a fun fact. Sounded good. They had, for all the announcements, they had a second person there doing the French calling, almost like if you've ever been on an airport on the plane and they do the safety instructions, and then they have like the second in safety instructions that are in French. It was actually arguably almost the same voice even that they use. So interesting. And then Mark Carney, Prime Minister Mark Carney, goes out there, gets booed. Shockingly, the politician doesn't get the biggest boo of the night. That would go to the commissioner. And so he gets booed a bit. And then he does the coin toss, and the Riders would win the coin toss. So with that, we're going to move towards the fourth quarter. But first, here are the highlights of the pregame.
To celebrate a brand new partnership between WestJet Rewards and Telus Rewards, 2 lucky members who linked their accounts have won a once-in-a-lifetime chance to deliver the Grey Cup right here on the field. Please welcome WestJet Rewards champions. Veuillez accueillir les champions de la division Ouest, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, led by head coach Corey Mace. Welcoming the Eastern Division champions. Veuillez accueillir les champions de la division Est. Jason Moss.
So now moving into the fourth quarter, the Alouettes. Did I say fourth? Whoops. First.
Yeah, you did.
The Alouettes. Yeah. Geez. Yeah. This game's all a blur. the Alouettes drive would start. They would try to get that. They would get that running game going. It was working decent at the time, and then they would try to get their passing game throwing. And on their very first throw of the game, Marcus Sales would get the interception for the Riders. I have a clip of that coming up, which will be interesting. The Riders would try to get it going. They get a good run for AJ Ouellette, and then that drive kind of stalls after that. The Riders would punt, and they would get the Rouge. And then in my notes, like anytime there's one in the Grey Cup, will this be a factor? And it turns out it almost was. Didn't end up being there, but it certainly almost was. And that makes it 1-0 for the Riders. The Alouettes would drive it down a little bit. There'd be an awesome punt by the Alouettes as they get that really, really strategically placed. Riders going to be deep in their own territory. They would try to get it going. They can't. The Alouettes go back on offense. There'd be a huge pass for Tyson Philpott. And then they get right to the goal line. It's 3rd and 1 on the 1. The Alouettes are going to go for it. They get the touchdown. So really, really critical play there where the Alouettes, the Riders, could have potentially stopped that drive kind of dead to rights right there. Alouettes, of course, scoring the touchdown there. Conversion is good. 7-1 Alouettes. It would then go back and forth a little bit, and that would pretty much be it for the first quarter. So you can see all of the first quarter clips here. Oh, it's going in!
My God!
Oh my goodness! Oh, Marcus Sales!
The first throw!
Got it! He's in. Alouettes touchdown.
Look at all the blue!
Woo! There we go! Yeah! Woo! So, moving into the second quarter, the Riders would drive it down. And so the Riders would get into a situation where it was 3rd and 2 for Saskatchewan. They were only on the 4-yard line. They were so close. They're going to go for it. And this is actually going to be incomplete, turnover on downs. So the Riders don't get it done after they take a little bit of a gamble. I can't blame them for going for it, though. This is a big game of the year. You got to take some chances here and there. However, they would review the play, and there would be some sort of a penalty. I don't know what this was. Do you know what the penalty was where it was 3rd and 2?
This was the defensive pass interference penalty.
They called it defense. Okay. I was assuming that based on what happened with the Riders then getting the ball back. They did not announce that in the stadium. There was no replay showing it. There was no announcement. They were just like, oh yeah, by the way, Riders now on offense again, and they're on the 1. And everyone's kind of like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on here? So the Riders would then get the touchdown there. Conversion is good. It goes to 8-7 Saskatchewan. It would go back and forth a little bit here. Riders would drive it down the field, and then there would be a holding penalty taken by Logan Ferlin, the center of Saskatchewan. Riders then get that drive going. They'd really be going down the field. They get themselves another touchdown. Convert is good, 15-7, although Brett Lothar almost missed that kick. And then the Alouettes would get the ball back. They'd drive it down a little bit. Saskatchewan would stop the Alouettes, drive it right at kind of around midfield. And then the Alouettes would go for a Hail Mary, and it would get picked off because, to be fair, there's not really many other options. And it would be 15-7 going into halftime. So here are all the clips from the second quarter.
No! Oh! Oh my God! The Riders missed it!
They come up short.
No!
Montreal will take over on downs.
Oh my God. Oh, he's in.
For the Saskatchewan touchdown.
Saskatchewan.
So halftime rolls around, and it's going to be Machine Gun Kelly. And you know what, Rick? He actually wasn't that bad. I had very low expectations because his music was very, very hit with miss for me. I thought some songs were okay when I'd heard them beforehand, and some stuff was just kind of, I'm not a fan of it. Not gonna lie, he puts on a good show live. I'll give him props where props due. Not the, like, I mean, I've been to a bunch of concerts. It's not the best act I've seen live, but I thought it was a very fair halftime show for a Grey Cup, and I will say, a lot better than the Jonas Bros. So I was pleased in that regard. And so the third quarter kind of rolls around. Super Mario would get a big return for the Riders to start it off. Riders offense buzzing. Alouettes still can't respond. And the Riders would get themselves another touchdown. Convert is good. This went from a 7-1 Alouettes game to 22-7 Saskatchewan. That Rider offense was moving, and there was nothing that Alouettes defense could do to stop it. The Alouettes, they try to get their drive going, struggles. They're forced to punt again. Riders drive it down the field, and then there would be a procedure penalty against them. There would be a good pass for Charleston Rambo, who was still in this game. He was wearing the Guardian cap again, so it was easy to tell when he got the pass. And then yeah, like the Alouettes still trying to get something going. Alexander throws a pick, and this point, me and my brother are like, oh my God, Davis Alexander on fraud watch. Holy shit. Like, this guy, does he have what it takes? Apparently not with one working hamstring. That one hamstring, Davis Alexander, sucks. Doesn't get it done. And so Brammer would then take a procedure penalty for the Riders as they would get that drive going. Brett Lothar goes for a field goal, hits it 48 yards out, 25-7 Saskatchewan. Alouettes start driving it down again. Defensive pass interference would go against the Riders. And then and so then the Alouettes close to the end zone. They go for it once again. Touchdown. Alouettes. Convert is good. 25-14 Saskatchewan. This game just got a lot closer as we would head to the fourth quarter. So check out our third quarter highlights here. Oh boy, keep him out, keep him out, keep him out.
In. Are the Alouettes on fraud watch? Are the Alouettes on fraud watch? Brother, we ain't on fraud watch. We are on fraud keep up. We know they're fraud. Oh boy. We are on fraud check in. We know they're frauds. Now we're checking in.
Oh, that's a pick. That's a bad throw.
I told you.
That's a bad throw.
What is he even seeing there?
That was bad. That was a bad pick. There was nobody there. Here we go. And he's in. Nice. There we go. Fourth quarter rolls around of the 112th Grey Cup. Riders take an unnecessary roughness to start it off. They would drive it down deep, but it doesn't get anywhere. They have to punt. Alouettes finally start to get that offense going. They're driving it down. I'm like, holy crap, they're really moving here. And now on an interesting play, there's an automatic review where it was roughing the passer against Saskatchewan on Davis Alexander. I did not agree with this call. I do not think that was roughing the passer on Davis Alexander.
Is that the one where it was the horse collar?
Yeah, so I'm not going to lie. I didn't see a great angle of it, but from what I saw, it looked like a standard tackle while he was throwing the ball out.
If it's the horse collar, you can tell on TSN's
Oh, is it? Okay.
That he has. If that's one that you're talking, because I know at one point
that might have been it.
Tackle. Like
that might have been the one you're talking about. Then I see. I did not see. Then call it a horse collar because that confuses me. But it is what it is. So then there'd be a ineligible receiver penalty as the ball gets popped up and a lineman grabs it once again. the second week in a row that this has happened, as this happened last week where Liam Dobson ended up with the ball for the Ticats. And then so the Alouettes here are going to go for a field goal because it puts it to just an 8-point game. 2-point conversion on a touchdown would tie it. Maltos Diaz hits the field goal, making it 25-17. There will be a bunch of flags after the play. Penalties would get declined. Field goal was considered good, though. And then the Riders would get back on offense. Huge pass for Samuel MLS. And then Lothar goes for a 39-yard field goal, and it is no good. This had the potential of being a big moment in this game, but it did not end up being there. But I will say, from everything I've seen, Rick, all the Rider fans were kind of like, this is gonna be what like our kicking woes are going to catch up to us. And so Alouettes back on offense. Huge pass for Tyler Sneed down. The Alouettes determined, looking like they're going to tie this game. They are all the way down. They're on like the 1 or 2 yard line. They're right in front of me, right where I'm seated. Shea Patterson. The ball comes out. He fumbles it on the 1. Riders jump on it in the end zone, though, so they're not at their own 1. That ball moves up. It's ruled a touchback. Alouettes needed a come out with nothing. Riders with one hell of a defensive effort to keep it out of the end zone. And then AJ Ouellette would have a great run. Only 2:27 left on the clock at this point. There'd be some late flags. Unnecessary roughness ruled against the Riders. Alouettes, they take their last timeout as they're trying to go down the field. The Alouettes would then take a procedure penalty there. It's 3rd down. Alouettes forced to go for it. They get it, but it's still not a lot of time left. 32 seconds left. Procedure on the Alouettes again. They're moving it down the field, but they're moving it too slowly. It's killing time. 22 seconds left. And then we get to 3rd down with 6 seconds left. The Alouettes would go all the way down the field, Hail Mary, to try and tie this game. And it's incomplete. The Saskatchewan Roughriders would win the Grey Cup. So here are the 4th quarter reactions coming right here.
Oh my God!
Uh-oh!
It's wide!
Uh-oh! Oh, go!
Oh my God!
Oh!
Brett Lothar in the biggest game of his life!
Will this come back?
I said it!
Diaz takes it out of the end zone and runs.
Oh! Oh! Steve!
Tyler Sneed! Oh my God, they're moving it down. Oh boy.
What a baller play. What a throw. 2nd and 9, and you bomb that shit.
And let's see. Where's going? Oh no! He dropped it. Fumble. That's Rider ball. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my. Oh. 6 seconds left. Clock hits 0. He's going for the end zone. And it's incomplete. It's over. Riders win the Grey Cup.
Patterson walking off the field. That man is in hell.
So, the game would be done, and there would be a bunch of festivities. They would announce the most valuable Canadian, which would be Samuel Emelis, the most valuable player, which would be Trevor Harris, and of course, they would hoist the Grey Cup. So, for one last final time, here are the in-stadium highlights of all of the post-game.
Well, now they're just doing their own team.
Province loves this game and this team so much. It's a shame it's been so rare. What is
Yeah, you retire on that. It's waiting for its next season.
Thank you to the city of Winnipeg, the province of Manitoba, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers for an unforgettable week. Merci à Montréal pour une saison exceptionnelle. Ce super match ce soir. And now, on behalf of the Board of Governors, it is my honor to congratulate Riders Nation and the entire province's team.
You
The
tried.
112th Grey Cup champions, Saskatchewan Roughriders!
They lifted the big trophy. You good?
So, that was the game from the start. I know it took about like 15, 20 minutes, but I had all those clips in there. I wanted to get that through and get a full in-depth part of that video.
So I have 2 points.
Okay?
First off, this is going to be the first Grey Cup that I have not seen either starter throw a touchdown. So that's point 1.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Point 2 is if you take away 2 of those interceptions that Alexander threw, they got a single off of one and a field goal off of another. They would only have won by 4 points.
Yeah, well, I
Had
mean,
they not thrown those 2 interceptions.
the big
It would
thing
have been
is
a lot closer.
the big thing is here is like that fumble on the 1 yard line. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you know what sucked. So I like for the Alouettes here, when the game was done, all the Alouettes players were going down the tunnel, and they stop, and a guy goes in front of Shea Patterson, hand out, stops him. He's like, TSN would like to do an interview. And you could just see Shea Patterson just like serious. Like, it's almost like TSN being like, hey, you know that guy who it's like all your fault that we lost the game? You right here. We need to do an interview. And
Yeah,
so they
but
interviewed
even-
Shea Patterson right after this game. Like, oh,
The only
salt
way
in the
that
wound.
the only way that this could have been close is if Shea Patterson would have gotten that touchdown. They would either have had to kick the field goal.
Well, they would have went for the 2-point conversion because the 2-point conversion would have tied it. Because they were behind by 8. So they would have went for 2. So the thing is, they would have to hit the touchdown there with Shea Patterson. They'd have to hit the 2-point conversion as well because of that rouge that was given up at the start of the game.
Yeah, but who's to say that they would have gotten the ball back at the end of the game? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you don't
even
necessarily have to have the ball back. You just got to keep them out of field goal range. With Brett Lothar is a varying
That's not what
line.
I'm saying. What I'm saying is, let's say Montreal doesn't get the 2 points. You're down by 2.
Yeah, no, that's possible.
There's nothing that says that Montreal gets the ball back to kick that field goal.
Nope, that's true. But that's what people are going to be talking about, and you know that. Like, that's kind of the biggest point in which that was the moment that really sealed this game. This game was as much as the Riders were ahead. There was the question about an Alouettes comeback because they'd been driving the field well and they'd really started to get that offense going until that fumble. Once that fumble happened, the Riders had the Alouettes dead to rights. They did. And that was just an incredible defensive play to keep them out. And just a key, what a chance there. And what a job by the Riders. The Riders were determined to win this game. There was nothing Saskatchewan was going to let stop them from winning this Grey Cup. There's a few other things now that I want to mention that just from the being there live that I noticed. Firstly, a lot of pushing and shoving at halftime as they were approaching, because they were using the same tunnel despite that being on the opposite side of the building for the Riders. So the Riders were exiting first, so that way they could go, because they had the further distance to go. The refs let the Riders use the tunnel first, and the security and the Riders and the officials are holding back the Alouettes. And they're holding them back, and they're barking at each other. And you could see, like, there'd be like a security guard holding an Alouette and an Alouette player. They're barking at each other and chirping and yelling. And it gets to the point where pretty much all the Riders have gone down, but they're just waiting for like coaches or personnel. And the Alouettes are like, no, we've been waiting here for like 2 minutes for these guys to go. And then Dylan Wynn, just, there's like an arm going through. The guy just brushes the guy off and is like, fuck this, I'm going down the tunnel now. No, they had their chance, I'm going. And so Dylan Wynn just kind of barges through. And now the Alouettes are going down the tunnel after all the pushing and shoving and hooting and hollering. So just a bit of a fun altercation I saw there. Because they probably didn't show that.
Who gave permission for security to even try to hold players back? Like, Bud, like who?
That was it. That was the officials. The officials were asking for help.
Oh,
yep.
Oh, okay. But
yeah,
still,
no.
It's like.
No, they to be fair, they had added security, and the reason they did that was to avoid a brawl. Let one team go, let the other team go after. They just needed a football team's massive. There's not enough of it. It's not like hockey where you only got 5 guys on there. So if you have 4 officials, you're pretty fine. You got like 46 football players from the entire bench. You know what I mean? Well, to be honest, after they did the big fancy entrance on the one side, they should have just used the other entrance for the Riders after it, like they would in any other normal game. But It is what it is. Also, can you move your mic a little closer, just so that way it's just a little bit louder? But yeah, no, the Riders, they weren't going to let anything prevent them from getting this Grey Cup. And the interesting thing that will carry over into next year is, Rider fans are going to hate me when I say this, but it's a valid question to ask. 39 years old, do you come back? Or like the other possibility here, and we lost Rick, so we got to get Rick back first. Why does this always have to happen? Why does it gotta glitch out like this? Sorry, folks. We're getting Rick back here in just a second.
Carter Stream doesn't like me.
No. But anyways, this didn't used to be a problem. It's a problem now. I don't know why. But what I was gonna say is, 39 years old. There's a possibility if you're Trevor Harris, being like, you know what, ain't this something to retire on? Most valuable player in the Grey Cup, retire on a high. He can do it if he wants, and so that certainly is a question. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he says, you know what, like after winning the Grey Cup, after doing it with this squad, I'm going to stick around and at least one more year and see if we can go back to back.
Be even better.
What
is none of their quarterbacks are signed. None of their running backs are signed. None of their Duncan Busby is the only wide receiver.
I will tell you one player that they won't lose, though. There's no way they lose AJ Ouellette. They will do everything to re-sign him. The only way they don't is if Dinwiddie gives them a big offer over in Ottawa. That's the only way I see them not holding on to
you know
Ouellette.
what, though? to be honest, it's gonna.
But that's even in that is a little
AJ
unlikely.
Ouellette. It's gonna be the only way that AJ Ouellette makes it to free agency, and I'm gonna say the same thing with Brady, is if they get an offer that they don't like from the team.
If they find it borderline insulting, yeah.
Because you got to remember, with the Grey Cup winning team, you can guarantee everyone's going to want a pay raise.
That's the thing. It can go one of two ways, because with Winnipeg it's gone both ways over the years. Either A, you get a bunch of veterans that are willing to take pay cuts to stick around because the likelihood of doing it again is higher because you just won the Grey Cup. You're a proven contender. This is what Adam Bighill did. This is what Willie Jefferson did. This is what numerous guys in Winnipeg have done. This is what guys like Jake Thomas did, Stanley Bryant did. And it was impressive what they were able to do in that regard. But then on the flip side, you'll get guys that want big money. Kenny Lawler, great example. Wanted the big payday, went somewhere else. Even Sergio Castillo, the one time he went for Edmonton for the 1 year and then realized, he got the payday there, but he also had to play for, unfortunately, a not very good Edmonton Elks team. Even Kenny Lawler had that. I think he played 1 year over in Edmonton between his multiple stints with Winnipeg, and so that may happen. But anyway, so the Riders would win this game, and what was the final score? That was a 25-17.
Yes, sir.
Or I just want to make sure I have that right, because I remember hearing something that it may have been something else.
Nope,
yeah, no, it was 25. No, I thought I heard somebody said there was a rouge at the end of the game and made it 26 or some bullshit. I can't remember. No, 25-17. Yeah. And the thing here is the Riders now go from since their existence starting in 1910, they've had 4 Grey Cups up until now. Currently now 5-time Grey Cup champions. Of course, they had a 12-year drought from 2013. That was their last Grey Cup before this one. Now, of course, 2025 Grey Cup champions. So there's going to be a lot that's going on. We have a lot of kind of videos and content planned. So firstly, there's some stuff I've kind of discussed with Rick, and then other that were just kind of ideas that I wanted to throw past him. We're going to generally try to cover big signings whenever they happen. Like this O'Shea signing happened. If there's a big signing that takes place, big re-signing that is, or even free agency whenever that opens up, cover that. Some off-season kind of updates. I think we're hoping that they're going to be discussing over the winter about the potential of player salaries and whatnot becoming public information for all the players, like clearly public, like not just kind of we get a little glimpse here and there, fully, completely open, very much like the NHL, and almost having kind of a cap-friendly Puckpedia sort of thing like that. I think this would be fantastic. I hope they do that, but we'll see if we get any announcements in that regard, any league announcements, all that sort of stuff we'll be covering. One idea I had, Rick, was, and I wanted to know what you thought of this, the idea of us doing a bit of a kind of in between seasons, like where does this team go next sort of video, one for each of the 9 teams of the CFL, and potentially getting a team related guest on for each of them. That was kind of how we did the mid-season reports, except doing it between like a season recap for each squad. What did you think? Something like that?
Do that.
Yeah. Maybe some player interviews. We'll have to see who we're able to get in contact with. We still have some contacts that we've been chatting with that we haven't yet interviewed. So there's always potential for that as well. Still working on a video on Canadian football as explained to Americans. When that video comes out, that will be relevant as per the 2026 rules. However, there will be an explanation there about the changes happening in 2027 for any of our American viewers, just so that way it's very clear there. And then so a couple funny things here. Firstly, big interview, their big pregame by TSN for like 5 or 6 hours leading up to Grey Cup. Love that. Love that was available on YouTube as well, and that wasn't just on TSN. Trying to attract the largest audience they can. Absolutely fantastic stuff there. We lost Rick again. We just keep losing the man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's trying to get away from me. Rick, come back. Here we go. Got Rick back again. Also, funny thing is they have James Duthie go out there to hand out the most valuable Canadian, most valuable player. They announce it saying, and the commissioner of the CFL will be presenting the award. Crowd starts booing the piss out of him. Like, even more than they booed Prime Minister Mark Carney, which is crazy considering Mark Carney's a politician. Not often you hear someone get booed more than a politician. But then he doesn't come out, and it's just James Duthie of TSN. And the thing I found so funny was that the crowd just kept booing. So now they're booing James Duthie. And so he hands out the awards, and then, of course, Stuart Johnson goes out there to hand out the Grey Cup. They booed the crap out of him, which, again, I think is kind of unfortunate in the sense of I understand people are really upset about this and whatnot. But again, we haven't seen a game of these new rules, so we'll have to see how that all plays out. And overall, it was quite an experience seeing a Grey Cup in person. Very different than the average game. I will say one thing. The concourse was a fucking nightmare in Winnipeg. Right at the top of my stairs, across the concourse is a wall where the men's bathroom is. That usually will take me about 5 seconds at most to walk just across the concourse from the top of the stairs to go use the bathroom. You want to know how long it took me, Rick? It took me 10 minutes. It was shoulder to shoulder, bumper to bumper traffic. Everyone was getting uncomfortably close to each other because there was no option. Someone would be going through with a wheelchair. You're almost falling on this person because you're getting pushed from so many angles. I don't know what they did. I think they sold a lot more tickets than they usually would. Like, I don't know if they sold standing room separately, which they normally do. Mm-hmm. They do not do at Princess Auto Stadium. But it was just that concourse was awful. And it just could not support the amount of people that were there. Like, not gonna lie, that is totally a safety hazard. Like, if there's ever a fire and people need to get out of there, that's a serious problem. But anyways, I did, Rick, send a congratulations text over to our friend.
So did I.
AJ Allen.
Last night.
Good. Yeah, no, I sent him one last night as well. And so he made sure to let me know.
He responded
that he will be sending me a photo of his Grey Cup ring. And so as much as I'm not a Rider fan, I will say there are certain players I'm happy for. I'm happy for AJ Allen. He deserves it. I'm happy for Yoshi Hardrick. I'm happy for Andrew Harris. And I will say in general that this Rider squad, they earned it. They did. And I won't say that Riderville didn't deserve it because, as much as I dislike the Riders, they are a seriously passionate fan base in this league, and this league is better for having them. And so it's a heated rivalry, but I respect their fandom the way that I hope they have that same for the Bomber Nation as well. So all in all, there's yeah. This was not the result I was hoping for, but I can't say I'm entirely surprised.
Because it's like, yeah, sure.
I'm like, yeah, sure, What did you think of this game, Rick?
I will say that the Machine Gun Kelly concert at halftime, I wasn't too fond of it as a plate.
I mean, I'll put it this way. I've seen a lot worse. I've seen a lot worse at Super Bowl. I've seen a lot worse at Grey Cup last year.
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like,
It's not the best I've seen. It's not the worst I've seen either. I thought it was decent, pretty decent.
but
Also,
it
one fun fact: Trevor Harris, who was the MVP of this game, he set a Grey Cup record in this game. He had the highest completion percentage for a quarterback in the Grey Cup ever. He went 23 for 27 with a 85.2%, which is the high. That is a Grey Cup record. That is the highest that a quarterback has ever had in the Grey Cup. So again, just showed how much that Alouettes defense, despite having a lot of talent there, they could not stop that Rider offense.
It's funny because they're doing a story on Trevor Harris about like how he was about to quit football, and his mom's like, "Oh, I'll give you $50 to go out there and try it one more time." And the rest of it's history.
You want to know the one thing I will say? So Samuel MLS goes 10 for 10 for 108 receiving yards. He gets the most valuable Canadian. However, I will say, AJ Allen is second in his team in tackles with 6 in this game. So, if he had gotten like a sack or an interception, we might be talking about a different most valuable Canadian in this game.
True.
As he was close. Stevie Scott actually had a higher average than AJ Ouellette did as far as the rushing game went. Although AJ Ouellette 83 yards on 17 carries, Stevie Scott 78 on 15 carries. But again, those 3 interceptions for Davis Alexander. Again, I only really count 2 because one of them was a Hail Mary one. So I don't think it's like, I don't think you can say that's as key of an interception as like some other ones. You know what I mean? But all in all, the interceptions for the Riders, Tavon Campbell would have one, Marcus Sales would have one, and Roland Milligan Jr. would have one. I believe it was Tavon.
Campbell had 2, no?
What'd you say?
Or was it Campbell that had a fumble and an interception? I thought Campbell had 2 interceptions.
Campbell had a fumble. He had a forced fumble.
Oh.
Yep. You were right in that regard. But yeah, because Campbell had the interception that was the Hail Mary, because Marcus Sales and Roland Milligan Jr. got the other 2. And I will say one of those picks was awful. I had no idea where Alexander was throwing.
Oh, you know what it was? It was
what?
the first one that he threw.
I think it was actually
no one was around, and he just literally just played pass with the corner. Like no one was around him, or like no receiver was around, and he just threw it. And
well, the third pick looked like he was going to throw it out of bounds, and then he just throws it to a guy wearing green. And I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like,
okay, maybe it was the third pick. I know it was one of them that where it's.
It was bad. I know that. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my god, like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, no, and this was one of those things where, yeah.
I honestly don't think he was ever fully healthy.
Oh, no, he certainly wasn't. I will say, I think it's clear that that this gets worse as the game goes on. Because you saw him during probably near the end of the game, and he's like, like you can see him visibly favoring one leg, one hamstring over the other. Like you could tell in those last couple plays, he was exhausted, he was injured, he was not healthy. But it was one of those things where I don't know if the outcome changes if he was. The Riders, they had shown every time they were on offense they were going to make you pay. Every single time. The Riders were unstoppable in this game. They really were. And I hate saying that. But that's just the honest God truth. The only thing that could have lost them this game is Brett Lothar. That's the only thing that could have lost them this game, was if it came down to a kicking duel and Lothar loses to Maltos Diaz. That was the one thing. And so, yeah. 112th Grey Cup in Winnipeg. Riders win it. and they go to 5 Grey Cups. They avenge their 09 woes, which they showed in a video clip before the start of the game, which I was like, oh, they're going to do that. There was Rider Nation had made the trip. Talked to a few Rider fans that were there. They had actually made the trek from Saskatchewan. They had just made the decision like a night or 2 nights before the game, just being like, you know what, screw it. We're going to buy Grey Cup tickets and drive down. So some fun stuff there. Also, I have to give a shout out to Argos_news on Instagram, as they had recognized me at the game, and they're like, hey, I'm Argos News. I'm like, hey, thanks for chatting, man. So he had we had a short little chat as he was in the section next to me. So check out Argos_news on Instagram. They have some good Toronto Argonauts coverage. Also met with another fan there who had who watches our show, Rick. So I didn't have a chance to catch his name. We were on the concourse. I'm pretty sure he was wearing Rider green, and but we were all kind of pushed next to each other and trying to move along. So credit to him.
I see you met Rich.
Yes, I did. I met Rich at a few different things. I saw him at the CFL Fans Fight Cancer. I saw him at the festival at the convention center.
The guy that you were talking about.
I'll have a video that I make on the Grey Cup Festival that I'm going to do a voiceover that's going to be released here on Canadian Football Central. Just something for note.
I was going to ask the guy that you were just talking about, the one in the Rider green. Did he have like a beard like down to here?
Are you talking about Matt?
No, I'm thinking of what's his name?
Two and Out, like from Two and Out.
From Two and Out.
No, I had not met with him. No, I know he was at the CFL Fans Fight Cancer event, but I'm aware they were. I might have brushed past them, but I had not seen them and like introduced myself or whatever. No, I had chatted a little bit with Matt though, and he was very nice. And honestly, everyone I met was very nice. Honestly, I absolutely loved the CFL Fans Fight Cancer event. That was honestly probably my favorite part of this whole weekend. I'm going to go into a lot of depth on that in the Grey Cup Festival video. So make sure you guys tune into that. That'll be coming out in probably the next few days. And also, a few things. Firstly, if you haven't already, make sure you guys leave a like on this video and subscribe. And join the Discord. Link in the description below to our Discord for CFL chatter, NHL chatter, any other sport, all that sort of fun stuff. It's just a great place to, great community that we're building. So make sure you guys join in and keep the conversation going. And then the other thing is that this Saturday, me and Rick will be live streaming the Vanier Cup, the Canadian college football national championship, that is. And we're going to make sure the stream is working this time. My apologies to everyone who tuned in expecting a live stream over on Canadian Football Central. That ended up not happening exactly because of a massive technical difficulty that we were having.
I will say, you're talking about the Grey Cup because I did live stream over on
the but
channel.
we had set up a bunch of stuff that didn't come to fruition. There still was a stream, but it wasn't exactly what we had planned. But we're going to make sure that everything's working great for the Vanier Cup this Saturday. I'm going to make sure of it. If I got to redo everything, I'll redo everything. I already have a bunch of graphics, everything set up for it. So we're going to make sure we're looking nice and minty for that. So make sure you guys tune into that. U Sports, college football, Canadian college football, that is, championship, national championship, Vanier Cup, which will be the 60th annual. It'll be streaming out of Mosaic Stadium. And it's going to be Saskatchewan versus Montreal, the sequel, where the Montreal Carabins take on the Saskatchewan Huskies. So we'll have to see if Canadian football, if Saskatchewan really, the year 2025 is the Canadian football year of Saskatchewan. Because it very well may. So we'll have to see. Rick? Is there anything else we're missing?
Nothing that's really...
Yeah. So I want to know all your guys' thoughts on the game, the Grey Cup, down below. I want any sort of ideas you guys have. I would love to hear for. Also, I think I'm going to be doing some shorts of kind of live reactions mixed with the broadcast from the Grey Cup for some shorts content. So make sure you guys check all that sort of stuff out. And just appreciate the support you guys have given all season. Seriously, I think our audience has grown a lot this year. Gained, I think, a couple hundred subs. You guys have really supported a lot of engagement here on the channel, and we really just I want to give a big thank you on behalf of myself and Rick here for another successful year of doing content for the CFL. We absolutely love doing it. I truly believe that Canadian football is the best version of football on earth, and you guys make it possible.
You know what is also interesting?
What?
Even though it's technically not Tuesday yet, because like Carter likes to say, I haven't slept yet. Even though it's technically Tuesday, you know what comes out in 3 weeks?
What?
The 2026 CFL schedule.
Yeah, well, we'll do a video on that, but it's crazy because Rick, I know obviously originally my co-host was Jake, who is not our co-host anymore. He just kind of our stuff in life that he's be focused on. Still very, very good friends with Jake. This channel was started, and our first video came out January 10th of 2022. So we are going to be approaching the 4-year anniversary of Canadian Football Central.
And this will be my third
year of it. I think so. I'd have to check the exact date of the first video you made your appearance in, but you've been here for about 3 years of it, and it's been a fun time. So just wanted to thank you guys for all your support. And again, I want to also give a big thanks to everyone who tuned in to who came to the CFL Fans Fight Cancer event. That was absolutely fantastic. $70,000 were raised to help those in need who are battling cancer. I could not be happier to have attended that event. And also, I won a few things. I did the raffle, and I was successful. So a lot of people grabbed their raffle tickets, and they put 1 or 2 in each of them. But I said, no. Rather than having 1% chance at everything, I want 50% chance at just one thing. And so, I am now the proud owner of 3 different things. Firstly, if you've ever wanted an obnoxiously large cup, you now have it. This Ottawa Red Blacks cup. You want to see how huge this thing is? This is my head for reference. It is larger than there's not a cupboard in my house I can fit this thing in. This is a 2025 season seat member mug, so big cup. Thanks. I'm going to use this for the 7-Eleven bring your own cup for a Slurpee thing, as it is a true Winnipegger will. I got this beautiful. It's just a stainless steel cup.
Oh, okay.
But it's a nice cup. I got this wonderful Ottawa Red Blacks hat with the 10th anniversary patch on the side. It's a beautiful hat. It's like a stretch snap. It fits really nicely. And then for the highlight of it all, and this is what I really wanted, we got an Ottawa Renegades jersey from like the early 2000s. Look at that old CFL logo. Oh, there's so much dog hair on this thing from whoever donated it, and I'm going to get it all off. This thing's beautiful. Look at this. I think I got like.
Is there any name on the back or no?
No. There's no name or number on it. No, but seriously, there's so much dog hair. It's like this thing practically had like a Yorkie living in it. It's so, but I love it. I couldn't be more grateful.
Way to throw the person who donated under the bus.
No, I'm not throwing them under the bus. I'm showing my gratitude and also using humor at the same time. At the end of the day, I'm so thankful for everyone who attended that event. I also want to give Some thanks to Cameron Hagelas, man who organized it all. Guy who's leading the charge. Serious shout out to him. Serious shout out to Connor, who shaved his head in support of the event, and 3 others who had as well. Big shout out to them. To everyone who attended, I saw Dave Naylor there. Saw a bunch of others there as well. The CFL providing the Grey Cup there for the event. There was the Winnipeg Police Pipe Band was there. The Riders brought their marching band in, all in the small Tavern United across the street from True North Square in the MTS Center, and it was just an absolute blast.
And I also noticed some people got arrested by the Fun Police too.
Yes, the Fun Police. The Fun Police was out on patrol here in Winnipeg.
Did you get to meet the what the heck did you call them? The
polar bears?
Yes.
I did not get to meet the polar bears, sadly. I did see some of their stuff because I was at the CFL Fans Fight Cancer event the whole time, so I didn't have time to head over there for that. But I did see they had some of their merch available as part of the raffle stuff at the CFL Fans Fight Cancer, and actually a friend of ours, Rick. Whatchamacallit? Friggin'
I know a lot.
What's his name? Aaron. Sorry. Aaron in the group chat. Yeah. He had won a bunch of Northwest Territories polar bear stuff from the raffle. Nice. So some fun stuff there. Big shout outs to all the CFL players that had donated stuff for the event. I saw there was a Vernon Adams Jr. jersey there, multiple Kenny Lawler jerseys. Luke Wilson donated a Seattle Seahawks signed jersey. Nathan Rourke, the entire Alouettes and Argos roster had each signed a jersey and had sent that in. So, big props to all of them for supporting this event.
Also, I thought it was quite humorous. I'm sure you saw the photo that they put in the group chat of the AI created version of me. Except for the AI. The AI didn't know what year it was.
Well, you know what's great, Rick? Do you know what's better than that photo in the group chat?
And hold on, let me.
You know what's better than that? That photo being on a Canadian Football Central video and being showcased for everyone. Hey, Rick. Hey, everyone. This is Rick over in Calgary.
That's not me though.
First of all, credit to them actually having it say McMahon Stadium at the top. No credit to them for getting the year wrong. I love how Rick's wearing one of those chains that has like the obnoxiously large CFL logo, just for it to have fucking nothing on the end of it. It's just a chain. I will say.
Bling bling.
Also, Rick, you gotta wear a sweet bowler like that. Seriously, that would be a big move on the style. Also,
what?
The bowler.
The freak is the bowler?
Oh, it's a bucket hat. Sorry, not a bowler. A bowler is a different kind of hat.
What's that?
But also,
pick your poison.
The bucket hat. Yeah, not the bowler, the bucket hat. Sorry. A bowler is a different kind of hat.
Yeah, pick your poison.
Either. I don't know. Also, fun, Grey Cup stuff. They have Brady Oliveira, so that meant he re-signed, so that's great. The only problem is, Brady Oliveira, if you notice where his feet are, he's not standing on the stage. He is levitating in midair, so a little bit of a problem with the AI there. Not exactly the smartest, but that's okay. They also have Nick Dembski in there for some reason in street clothes, so hopefully that means he's not injured. But a lot of fun stuff.
There's my bucket hat.
There we go. But anyways, though, Riders are the Grey Cup champions. Yuck. Oh, you doing a side by side? Oh God. Is there anything else we're missing here, Rick? Before we wrap this up and we begin the off-season coverage with other videos.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else?
I'm just waiting for the league to announce free agents day. That's all I'm waiting for.
Fair enough. But there's nothing else you need in this video to announce.
No.
So,
nope.
Yeah. So, make sure you guys leave a like on the video, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. And, of course, like I mentioned before, make sure you guys join the Discord. Link in the description below. Building a CFL/NHL community over there. Lots of Jet stuff, CFL stuff, other sports stuff in there. So make sure you join the community over there and keep the conversation going, as we have a wonderful community that is growing on our Discord, and I'd like to see you a part of it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys, peace, love, and positivity at home. Go Bombers. Riders are the Grey Cup champions this year, and I pray to God somebody else wins it next year. Bye.